Online game, The Beginning One-Fold Plunder Chapter 6. You can go to find special NPCs and take trial missions. Qin Feng held the peachwood staff and continued to go deep into the falling sunset plain. Newbie Village Resurrection Point. The female assassin had just been resurrected when a system alert sounded in her ears. Hint: you've been killed by the player. See her appear at the resurrection point. At this time, teammates stepped forward to gather around. Isn't it? You're also barbecue too. It's a pity this time, the brute is almost bloody. It's okay, we learn our lesson and we can succeed next time. The female assassin couldn't help but smile bitterly when she heard her teammates say this. I wasn't hung up by a wild monster, I was hung up by a mage player, and he. Strong to the sky. Immediately, she described in detail the sneak attack on Qin Feng and was counter-killed. After listening to what happened to the female assassin, the teammates gasped. He can unleash skills in a row. Maybe there is some high-level talent. Quote, people dare to go to the sunset plane single-handedly. A ruthless character in itself. Don't think about revenge, this kind of lucky guy develops faster than us. Yes, the solitary in the world is either a beast or a god. We can't afford to mess with it. The female assassin nodded in agreement. Isn't it just to die once? No big deal. I just don't know how much experience I lost. Thinking of this, she opened the properties panel. When she saw her talent, it suddenly became, none. Rumble. It's like 5 thunders hitting the top. The female assassin was dumbfounded. How so? Just died only once, and even lost talent? That's an A-level talent, shadow jump. A talent that fits the assassin profession very well. Wasted. Quote, the female assassin was half crouched down at this time, only feeling a bone-scraping pain on her body. Can't figure it out. Where did the talent go? Deep in the sunset plain. Qin Feng quickly passed by many wild monster areas. He came to the cursed forest at this moment. In the field of vision, an old woman with a bamboo basket on her back was sighing there on a low mound. See this scene. Qin Feng knew that he had come to the right place. Obviously, she is a special NPC. Thinking of this, Qin Feng hurriedly walked over. Old man, what are you doing here? Qin Feng asked. The old woman looked up at Qin Feng. Your Excellency, old immortal is a medicine collector. Today I am going to the dense forest to collect medicine. How did I know that I encountered a powerful undead creature? Speaking of this, the old woman's eyes showed a look of horror. When Qin Feng heard this, he was even more sure that the old woman was the special NPC announced by the player in the previous life. But the task. Players need to guide through dialogue and let the old woman take the initiative to post. Thereupon, shush Tilda, there are undead creatures in the dense forest ahead. Qin Feng was very cooperative, revealing a look of horror. Yes, the old woman sighed like a survivor of the disaster. Although I ran out desperately, my feet were also broken, so I had to rest here. Speaking of which, the old woman's eyes suddenly turned red, and she choked. Just pity my good granddaughter. The old man, what happened to your granddaughter? Qin Feng's aura flashed, as if he had caught something. My granddaughter has a strange illness. The old woman said in a hoarse voice, only by relying on the sunflower flower in the dense forest to enter the medicine and maintain life. Quote, I can't pick sunflower flower today. The old woman showed a sad look. My granddaughter may die. Quote, when Qin Feng heard this, he said decisively, old man, I'll go to the dense forest to help you collect medicine. No, the old woman quickly refused. How powerful the undead creatures are, you. The strength does not seem to be very strong. Quote, the old woman hesitated and sighed. If you can recruit a few partners, maybe there is still a chance. Quote, no problem, Qin Feng said with a smile and waved his staff. Old man, please believe me, I will definitely be able to collect sunning flower for your granddaughter. That, all right, the old woman hesitated for a moment, and finally began to nod. Meanwhile, a prompt sounded in Qin Feng's ears. Ding, you triggered the trial mission. Quote, Chapter 5, Plunder Skills, Skill Progression. Chapter 5, Loot Skills, Skill Progression. Qin Feng listened to the voice in his ears and opened the taskbar. Looking for sunflower flower. Mission type, Trial Dungeon. Mission objective, go to the cursed forest and clear the trial dungeon. Mission content, the old woman needs to curse the sunflower of the dense forest. To save her granddaughter, you have to go to the cursed forest, activate the trial copy, and complete the task to obtain the sunflower flower. After activating the trial quest, you have 3 difficulty options, easy, difficult, and nightmare. The higher the difficulty of choosing, the greater the reward. Choose the nightmare difficulty, and there will be a mysterious reward after clearing the level. Mission rewards, lots of experience points, class skills, free attribute points, etc. Introduction. The trial mission is an assessment of the player's comprehensive strength. The task is extremely difficult, and it is recommended that players form a team. After reading the trial mission, Qin Feng looked at the cursed forest in front of him and was about to leave. Suddenly, the old woman spoke worriedly. Your Excellency, please wait. Qin Feng turned his head and looked at the old woman with an indifferent expression. The old woman spoke with worry. Your Excellency, cursing the dense forest is very dangerous. You just need to choose the easiest difficulty and you can also find the sunflower. With your strength, even the simplest difficulty may not be completed, so please come back safely. Quote. Qin Feng smiled lightly when he heard this, nodded and walked towards the dense forest. The cursed forest is a level 10 wild monster zone. The sunlight also can't penetrate the dense jungle foliage, and the area appears a little damp. There are also countless wild monsters hiding in the jungle. Qin Feng stepped into the cursed forest, and a prompt sounded in his ears. Ding, you activated the trial quest. Tip, please select the quest difficulty. Nightmare level. Qin Feng chose the nightmare level without thinking. Passed. That player is the nightmare level chosen to get the hidden class. The copy of Genesis has 3 difficulties, of which the nightmare difficulty is also called Death Game. First chapter, previous chapter 6 660th, next chapter end table of contents. Previous, the commander of the crosser of the girls' front line must not be a reckless man. Next article, returning a table.